grab our music. Beep. Anyway, good morning. So, wait, I am not on the starting soon screen. There we go. Now then, today we're just going to be playing some Starbound. I think we still have a few things to find for the Apex mission, but we'll probably start by... Sorry! I was posting my video on, I'm live right now video on TikTok, and there was somebody who was cosplaying Koenig from Call of Duty with just a very poorly CGI'd parachute. Like, wow, okay. Anyway, good morning. Today's gonna be Starbound. And for a little clarification for those who don't know, SAG-AFTRA, and I'm saying this for, like, when this video will be posted, okay? Everyone who's in my Discord knows about this, because I already talked about it. SAG-AFTRA has approved a video game strike against, let me get the companies, just because I want to make sure that I have as much clarity as possible with this. So, the companies are, and they're for the voice actors unions, Activision Productions Incorporated, Blindlight LLC, Insomniac Games Incorporated, Llama Productions LLC, Take-Two Productions Incorporated, VoiceWorks Productions Incorporated, and WB Games Incorporated. So, here's the thing. This is being stated at 7:57 a.m. on July 29th, 2004. So, as of right now, listen to that date. That's what I'm saying. There is no call for an active boycott. However, the one that is going to be a problem for me when it comes up to it is Blind Light. They recorded Fallouts 3, 4, I believe New Vegas, and Skyrim at the very least. If there is a boycott, I will not be talking about those games. I will not be playing those games. Which, yeah, does it suck? Sure. But it's way more important for these guys to get a fair deal. They're only stuck on a singular point, which is AI protection. But I highly recommend going to SAG-AFTRA's site and looking it up, because they have all the information there. Anyway, let's get into it. Alright, lovely. But yeah, and once again, here's a reminder for anyone who's like, this is so inconvenient or whatever, like they were with the original strike. Divided, we beg. United, we bargain. Solidarity forever, dude. Anyway. I made it very clear where I stand on unions in the past. Welcome. I'm just ranting about, not ranting in a bad way, just ranting. But, we are going to start over at... No, stay here, you. Especially because you're the medic, you need to stay here. Okay, let's go this way. But yeah, I will say I will not be removing the mod that I... Oh, right, I forgot. Yes, we are still working here, because I completely forgot that we're working on this. Okay, so then... I think I was going to bump this down. Yes. Yep, you're at... Ding, you're right on the money. But, oh, brain cell, this is not the time to go kaput. But yeah, and as I said before, I completely support them, so it is literally, because also I knew this was coming for a while. Well, I didn't know, but this is something they've been talking about doing for a while, so the writing was already on the wall. Anyway, I'm gonna use this same stuff to... let me think. Because here, I used it as, like... Actually, I could do it, like, here, where I have this on the crossbeams below, and then I go up from there. That sounds like a plan. Yeah, let's do that. Where's my timber? Brain cell, come on. Okay. This way... I can already bump this down, which is fine. Is there enough plated glass in a corner? Let me see. I'm sure there is, I'm just... Aha! Dang, you found it. Or, well, I found it, technically. No! Hang on, we can fix it. Forgot about that. Yeah, no worries, mate. No, thank you for telling me. I definitely would not have seen that. Alright, lovely. Let's continue fixing this. So for right now, we're just going to continue this on to here. Because... Hello, Avery. It's good to see you. For right now... Also, as far as what I'm going to put back here... Let me see what I got as options for certain stones. Because I'm thinking... I'm going to do, like, a... There's a couple of, like, back wall blocks that I could mess with here. So that it even looks like the inside of a building. So it doesn't look like it's kind of the same as the rest of everything. Oh, right, I put it away because I need to work on the thing. Anyway, for right now, that'll be fine. Okay. But... The other thing I don't know, I'm not going to try this on the bigger ones yet. I need to check and see, because I've never actually tried to move my fossils. Is it this one? Yes. So I'm going to try with a smaller fossil just to, like, test it, you feel me? Okay. So it'll work just fine. Okay, well, let's go down. And again, well, actually, I'm going to try on the ones that I'm less upset if I lose. Okay, I see how it works. That's fine. That is fine with me. And there. Because we're going to be pushing everything into here. Okay, lovely. Lovely, beautiful. Scooch everything out of here. And again, I will, like, fix it or whatever. I just need time. Also, as far as this goes, on this side over here, so far, I'm gonna be fine with it being like that, but I will not tolerate that forever, so we'll see. Okay. Yeah, no worries, man. I completely understand. God damn it, now I want ice cream. But obviously I can't, but, you know. Alrighty, lovely. And, oh, whoopsies, whoops. I mean, kind of what we need to do anyway, but... Alright, I'm also gonna go get some doors. So that we can, Well, actually, no, I have the doors on me. I just need to use them. So as far as here... I know that I'm using stone for the sections over here. However, I haven't decided on what/how I'm using them yet. But... this will be like so. And I am going to place down one of the fossils just so that I could have a little bit of a better visual, if that makes sense. Where are the large displays? There they are. I'm gonna start it from this side first, because I think that's gonna be a little easier, if that makes sense. So let me go ahead and put this dirt back down, just so that I have a visual difference. Okay. Because, like, yes, I will eventually fix this, but for right now, it's okay. So let's start it from here. Oh, goddammit. Yeah, the large fossil models are a little... How do you say it? Obnoxious in their everything. Okay, so then. Alrighty then, lovely. Let's go ahead and put our T-Rex here. I think that's all of our T-Rex for now. Yes. Okay, you can go here. And it will spit out the excess fossils once the display is done. But for right now, this is fine. Okay, okay, cool. Alrighty, lovely. I think a door is only 4 tall, so... Actually, no, it's 5 tall, isn't it? Alright, lovely. And also different doors might be different sizes, I don't remember. Okay, lovely. And then for this one, it's not gonna have a secondary layer as far as we are concerned. But... Oh, that is so fair. So, fun fact, when I don't live in Florida anymore, but when I lived in Florida, we had never, where I grew up was very much like where I am here. We didn't have an ice cream truck because it was super remote. I've talked about it before, where I grew up. So the first time I moved to Florida was the first time I ever actually saw an ice cream man, right? Oh yeah, and 30C is nothing to sneeze at, dude. That's like somewhere in the really high 80s to low 90s, I think. Hang on, let me do stupid American maths. Oh, Brady. Yeah, 86. So, yeah, that's absolutely nothing to sneeze at. And, like, the other thing that people don't take into account ever um, is humidity. So, uh, one of the things that I will say to, like... I'm just gonna bring up Phil as Philza as an example because he was talking about it recently. He was talking about how the same temperature is super different in Britain, right? And he is right. That's the yes, ding ding ding. That's the other thing is the AC, right? Um but an actually decently comparable temperature for people from the States, or not the States, or like a decent comparable. I'm gonna just use Britain as an example because it's the one I'm thinking of. Florida and Britain actually have a lot in common when it comes to their temperatures, right? Because Florida and Britain have very similar humidity profiles going on. And humidity, exactly. Homes are designed to keep in heat, and the other big kicker is humidity will just make temperature stick right to you. So, like, whether it be heat or cold, it just... There's a reason there's a term, wind chill, right? And I think heat index is its sister term. But, I haven't decided what stone I want to use. Hang on, let me go look at my options. Oh, right, I don't have my fucking thing built yet. Well, I guess I gotta put it down here, because I need to. Alright, lovely. Where's... I know they're right here somewhere. And I will go fix the fossils soon. As a matter of fact, actually, with how I'm doing it right now, I will need to fix them, just not like I think they do. But, where's my workbench? Those are the ones I picked up, was it not? I'm literally staring at it. Oh my god. It's fine. Let's see. So there's the cobblestone ones. Oh, hold up. Hold up, hold up, hold up. This would look really cool. On the hang on, I have an idea. The classic baseboard would make this look very fancy. I'm gonna have to move my fucking fossils again. I know I just did it, but it'll make this look fancier. But as for what I was saying, because places like Florida have such high humidity, it's a really, like, comparable kind of thing. But you will never catch me making fun of anyone who... I'm just gonna, again, use Britain as an example because this was, you know, something that happened a couple of times. But, one, don't make fun of people, like, if people are actually in genuine harm. Like, for example, when people were dying from the heat wave. I mean, they still are. But, you will never catch me making fun of them because, like, one, where I grew up actually was, yes, a centralized AC is very standard in America, but there are places in America that are not well off and therefore don't have it. There were a lot of people who I grew up around who did not have central AC. And the difference that makes is bonkers. I mean, hell, technically I don't have central AC here. We have window units. Um, but the one thing, the advice I will give to people who are from places that don't have central AC, who are starting to experience these really severe heat waves, I highly actually do recommend looking up, like, there's actually a lot of Americans who live in places that have these severe heat waves but also don't have AC, and they will give a lot of very helpful advice. So if you know, are really going through it, I do recommend looking them up because they have a lot of helpful info on how to, like, retain heat or cold in your house without having to just be like, just get heated AC, as if people have, like, money coming out of their asses. But that's also one of those things that's, like, a big hot button thing for me. If you make fun of people who literally all they are doing is trying not to die in a heat wave, you're fucking gross and should be ashamed of yourself. I don't care if you think that's not very hot or not. Think about it from the perspective of you having to stand outside and sit through that all goddamn day. Like, you're fucking weird if you make fun of people for, you know, stuff like that. Anyway. Huh. Look, I kind of want to see what that looks like. Because I've never looked at that before. That looks a little silly. Yeah, nah. Not happening. I know I should have just thrown it in the bin, but I have so much stone. Alright, let me look. Check this. I gotta try to see how it tiles. Maybe. I actually kind of like that. I'm gonna test it here. Yeah, I like that. And then I can put the windows directly above this section here. Ooh, and, you know what else I can do? I can either use normal stone, or I'm gonna try it with the cobble first. But I could do like so. Okay, not the cobble. Oh, yuck. That looks disgusting. This is what... So, fun fact. This is... I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is why I never let myself get so engrossed in this. I know that I am this way with building. So, like, I knew this would turn into me just being like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Yeah, yeah. Alright, let's see. Good God, that's loud. Alright, let me see. Okay, so I need to get a bunch of these. So I'm just gonna make... I'm going to start with 50. This is probably a mistake, but I'm starting here. Actually, no, that's exactly how much I wanted. Alrighty, and let me... No, not the atomic furnace. What else do we got? Actually, this might have been a place for this. Let's check this and see how that looks there. Oh, come on. Okay, let me see. That could work. No. Brain cell. Come on, activate. There we are. Also, I am not too proud to admit that I absolutely cried seeing Celine Dion sing at the opening ceremonies. Like, that was extremely emotional. Alright. Lovely. Also, I saw a theory. So, this is theory territory, okay? But, I saw a theory... Oh yeah, there's also those cooling towels that my spouse has one of those, where they're made of this weird, like, flimsy, almost foam-like material. And you basically wet them, wring them out, and then something about them just makes it so it's much easier to keep. Well, also, they work better if you live in a humid environment. Like, they're really helpful in places like Florida because they don't dry out as fast. Out here, however, where we live in a desert, they dry out very quickly and it's a little unfortunate. But, there's a theory that people had about the torchbearer who looked like people were calling him Assassin's Creed. Well, here's the theory. The theory that is why that is because I didn't know this because I didn't fully watch the opening. And there's another thing that I'm not embarrassed that I cried at this, but like, I did cry. Apparently, Notre Dame de Paris, which is because there's a lot of Notre Dames, okay? Fun fact, if you ever want, like, one of my, like, random-ass things that pisses me off for no reason, is people calling, or acting like Notre Dame in Paris is the only Notre Dame. It's not. But, come on, brain cell. Apparently the bells rung for the first time since the cathedral caught fire. But the theory for why that opening ceremony, or that torchbearer was very Assassin's Creed coded, is because, Ubisoft, one, apparently is a French company. I didn't know that. It makes perfect sense as I say their name, but, like, apparently they are French. Well, I could make this go down by one more space if I want to do those kinds of windows. Or I could push this up by another space. I think I might do that. But, the theory is because they were instrumental in helping Notre Dame rebuild after the fire because they had all those high-res scans for. I'm not even gonna pretend to know which one it is. I'm not a big Assassin's Creed guy. But that is the current prevailing theory for why that torchbearer looked so much like they were out of Assassin's Creed. Which, if that's the case, that is extremely sweet. Alright, lovely. That's it. There we go. Oh shit, I didn't mean to pull that all the way into the door. Okay, cool, that's fine. I am gonna start here in a second placing down the... I might border these so that they don't look so naked. Let me see. That's fair. Alrighty, lovely. All I know is Bullfrog was my favorite part of, Captain Laserhawk. I fucking love Bullfrog. Alright, let's see. Beep. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. Sure, we'll go with that for right now. And then, like I said, we'll push it up by one more. Well, technically two, just by the nature of how this is. Okay, but let's start placing down workbenches so that we can then go grab those. Alrighty, lovely, lovely. This I'm gonna put here because I like to keep this as far to the wall as possible usually. Don't ask me why, it's just the habit I have. Also, there's not really a rhyme or reason to how I place my anything in this game. However, I do want the pixel printer on the end. That much I know, because I want it to be more available and easy to reach. Oakley dokley. The fossil station, nope. Face that way. Okay. Wait. Let's go ahead and place this here. There we are. Okay, now then, we can move the other ones without it being too much trouble. They should keep their stuff? Yes, good. That is part of my storage mod that I love so very dearly. Okay. Now we can push this up however we so fit, or however we see fit. Okay, let's also do it like this to make our lives a little easier. Because I want to mirror this, I want this pattern to be fairly easy to replicate. Or not replicate, I want to have a brain cell for one, but apparently that's not going to happen, but, you know. Okay, so then, I need one more. A little bit sad that you literally can't see the pattern, but it's fine. For right now, it is fine. As far as what I'm going to do for the floor, I might just keep it synonymous and have it still be these timbers. Just because that makes the most sense to me. And it'll have a little bit of visual cohesion. Nope, not that. Where's these? Okay. So then, take you and go like so. Lovely, beautiful. Brain, stop fucking singing like a prayer. Alrighty. Also, so fun fact, I'm fairly notorious on not always picking up on double entendre. And it depends on what it is, but, like, I'm not always great at it. It literally took me until the Deadpool Wolverine trailer to realize that Like a Prayer is 1,000,000% double entendre, which is really funny because it is so obvious it hurts. Literally, one of the lines is "Down on my knees, I'm gonna take you there." How did I not pick up on that? But anyways. Alright. I do need to make more of that one particular... Well, now I do need to go up and make more, or set down the workbench, because now I absolutely need more. That... What? Logan, what the fuck did you think P was assigned to? I was thinking P for some reason. I mean, obviously, like, it's fairly close to the I key, but still. Brain cell, come on now. There we go. Alright. I need more of this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's just make... I'm just gonna make a flat 200 like I do with most of these. 400, sorry. Brain cell. I'm notoriously exceedingly bad at math. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that as the one there for right now. But it's fine. The only issue is now I'm gonna have to remember which of these... Well, not which of these. I need to do this. It's the longest. No. Wrong block, Logan. Come on, lad. Alrighty. I swear I have a brain cell. I promise I do. Right click. There you go. Good lad. Oh my god. I don't know. I don't know. Brain cell's not home. Lights are on, but nobody's home. I don't know. Not me, that's for damn sure. Alright, lovely. Very, very good. No, damn it! Also, you know what's still so crazy about the Olympics? So people will often talk about, oh, who has the most medals? Who has the most medals? But you want to know the one who I'm impressed has a super high number of medals because, one, they don't exist anymore and haven't for a while. And mind you, the Soviet Union did exist for quite a while, but the Soviet Union to this day still has the second amount of medals ever. And okay, we have to think about this logistically, right? It was much like how the reason the U.S. has a lot is the U.S. is so big, so it has a lot of athletes it can provide. Because the way I will always tell people who are not from the U.S. to think about the U.S. as functionally a slightly smaller version of the entirety of Europe, and all the states are our different countries. That is the best way I can phrase it, because anyone who lives here, can and will tell you one of the most interesting things is every corner of the U.S. you go not even just a state over, but even a county within a state over, and you have a completely different culture and environment there. And it's just very, it's one of the things that I find very, and matter of fact, I have a British friend who lives here, Linda, who that's the thing that she said was the hardest for her. Hang on, I think there's still a missing, or I guess not a missing one. Yep, there it is. That was the hardest thing for her to get her friends back home to understand, is she's like, the reason the US is like that, TM, is just because it's gigantic. And it really is. Every state is like its own little micronation. Nation. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's like its own little country. And it's just kind of difficult to get that across to, like, people who aren't from here. And I don't hold that against them at all. I'm not going to pretend like everyone needs to know everything about America, no. In fact, I frankly would prefer people do less. I'm kidding. But, Like, I'm not gonna be one of those people that presumes everyone knows how America works, because, like, duh, they obviously won't. Uh, did I figure out how much this is? So that's 1, 2. Hang on. It's just below my head, so. Oh, can my villagers move? Buddy, you need to move. Okay, so I think it's here. No, here. There we go. Yeah, roughly 3 blocks. This fucking... Okay, he clearly wants to create problems, so I'm gonna just let him keep doing that for a bit. Thankfully, I can do this. But yeah, it's just interesting to me that the Soviet Union still has the second most amount of medals. Oh, why am I blanking on who's behind them? Shit, it's fine. It doesn't matter that much. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I completely... Like, that's something that is also very interesting from my perspective as an American, is if I don't put it into the perspective of states, my brain doesn't kind of comprehend what it's like to just easily go drive to another country. But when I put it into the perspective of states, that makes sense. But yeah, my mom literally lives on the opposite side of the country from me, so it would be like a several-hour flight just to see my mom. Because actually, kind of curious. So I'm just going to use general specifics because I'm not going to, like, dox where I live. It would take me 35 hours without stops to drive to my mom's house. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the other... Oh, yeah, absolutely. And this is something that, like, I think that people need to learn how to, like, have actual respectful conversations on. Because it's very interesting to me finding out, like, the different perspectives of scale in the States versus other places, but people always suddenly decide that it's like time to have like a pissing match or whatever, and I'm like, I was just asking a question, but okay, thanks. I know I'm a dumb American, but come on, man. Alrighty. Lovely. It's kind of the same as like a lot of people go 0 to 100 when it comes to playful banter with people from the States. And again, I'm not going to say that, like, we aren't annoying. I know we're annoying. That is fair. But when it comes to, like, just having fun, playful banter, going from, teehee seasoning to, like, elevating it to, well, you know, the whole trope, and I've seen it happen multiple times, so it's a trope for a reason, but the whole, at least our schools, I'm like, whoa, I wanted fun, playful banter. Why are we suddenly, like, actually bringing, like, super, like, fucked up shit into this? Chill. Oh, yeah. Oh, ho, ho, ho. It's union busting shit, dude. A lot of stuff where you're wondering why, like, things like public transport, and stuff like that is so bad in the States. It comes down to corporations and greed, and a lot of it came down to union busting in the past. Because if they couldn't get to where they needed to go as easily, they wouldn't be able to organize as easily. And sure, like, you could argue this is, like, slightly conspiracy theory. It's not. It really isn't. Um, but yeah, like, ooh. Also, I'm gonna continue to put these here, even though, like, well, actually, these are slightly taller, so I could probably get away with putting this down here. Because they're like 1 block taller or something. But I'm gonna do it here just so it stays in line with these torches. Oh yeah, it is absolutely, without question, built to cater to the automotive industry. It's depressing. um, and that's also anti-organization and anti the other thing that's very interesting to me from the perspective of an American for people from other states, specifically the British Isles, that I implore people to remember if you come to the States, America does not have right to roam laws. Don't wander onto somebody's property that you don't know because you can get shot. Um, like, pretty much unless there is a sign saying that it is public property or it's very clearly public property, presume it is not. It is safer in the long run for you, okay? But yeah, the States is really bad about that. But anyway, it's fine. Whoopsies, owie, that did not feel good. Okay, anyway. Did well, wait. I can use my handy dandy little thing that I show you. Hold control and push in a direction. Okay. So I did this. No. But yeah, if you hold control and push in a direction, it will move the camera there. Alrighty, lovely. No. This. And I'm just gonna do this for right now so that, like, I can get back in there, because I'm gonna start putting that. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, and it's one of those things that, like, as a kid, I will also say, like, if you're a kid, people are gonna be a lot more understanding, but yeah, it's one of those. I remember when I found out about right to roam, I thought it was a very, very interesting concept. Um, and like the argument that the States has for why there's no right to roam is because we have a. And again, this I'm not saying that other places don't have a robust national park service. Don't twist my words. But because of our national park service, the argument is, well, you could just go to a national park and go look at things. And I'm like, I don't want to drive all the way to a national park. Sorry, that was very loud. And I mean, in fairness, here I am. Hang on. Deet, 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 deet. We have a national park fairly close to us here. I have talked about it before. It's Zion. But uh, it's just very interesting to me. Countries that have right to roam, you know. Because I would love to just, like, walk around fields and whatever, but I value my life. Especially with where I live, this is one of those areas I would not fuck with when it comes to, like, just wandering around. Not necessarily because I actually think I'm gonna get, like, hurt for it, but more because, like, you don't want to get a bad reputation with, like, rural communities out here because farmers talk, man. All of them talk. And if you get a bad reputation, don't get a bad reputation, is the long and short of it. Don't do it. It's super not worth it. Okay, anyway. No, not the back block. I was accidentally trying to put it in the back wall. There we are, much better. Because, like, where I grew up, people kind of didn't care that much. But it's no longer the 90s, so people are a lot more, like, hyper-defensive over their allotments and stuff. And I get it, right? Like, they've kind of ingratiated this, like, don't trust your neighbors, don't, you know, everything has to be a potential affront to your freedom, hoorah. But, like, it would be nice to see, like, because, right, like, this also isn't taking into account things like fields that are used to produce actual, like, product, right? Or not, I shouldn't say product, god, that makes me sound like a fucking capitalist, Jesus Christ. But, I'm just gonna use I believe it's canola oil fields that have these very beautiful flowers, and I believe they are in... I think the one I'm thinking of is either in New Zealand or Australia, and I can't remember which, and I don't think it's actually either of them, but regardless. They are fields that require, because they are for future food production, they require super, like, well-monitored levels of literally everything. Like, every little thing in there needs to be, exactly right. Because if you don't, you can completely upset the natural balance of that particular crop. And it became an Instagram thing to the point that they're like, hey, we will prosecute you to it within an inch of your life. Because the thing is, they need to be disinfected every time before they need to go through the fields so that they don't potentially bring foreign matter and seeds onto, yeah. The first mission is not for the faint of heart if you don't know what's approaching. It's kind of the same. The two what I call wake up missions in Starbound are the first mission because you don't really know what you're getting into, and then the high loadal mission. If you are not paying attention during the high loadal mission, it can very quick. And again, it's not even the mission itself; it's actually the boss that time. Because like a lot of them, it's the mission itself that sucks more than the boss. Like if the Ericus mining facility, if you don't know the boss, it can suck. However, once you learn that boss, it's actually not that horrific. However, the fucking creatures that it spawns, those suck so bad. Anyway. Source. Did you go on a... yes. So, fun fact about that one, you could actually avoid that. But so you could choose to just dig, like straight down, and you'll be able to find the stuff. But it's faster to just do the Mama Pop Top mission. And the only reason I don't is because I don't like combat in this game. The combat, oh son of a bitch, is fine in this game. I don't like combat in any game. We've probably noticed. But I'm not big on being super combat driven in any game. Oh, I see. Oh, right. I see what you mean. Yeah, no, it is on the surface. And it can be kind of hard to tell if you aren't used to the game. I'm just, like, overly used to Starbound at this point. Alright, I hope I didn't make that one too tall. It looks right. Okay, that's fine. Should be fine for now. Okay, cool. Let's also go ahead and put another door here. Well, actually, this one doesn't need another door because this section's going to be naturally taller. So we won't bother with the door there. We'll put a door on the next level up. Okay, anyway, let's start putting down our things again. We're gonna put all of the... Oh, shit. Hang on. I need to move that. Or, actually, I could put him on the next level up because I don't really care where he goes, particularly. But anyway. Very good. Yep, pretty much. Alright, you could go there. Hang on, that's... It doesn't need to face any specific direction, but I've been facing everything in this direction already, so I might as well. Alright, lovely. Oh yeah, that is very... 100% I do not blame you at all for that. Okay, and then... Let's go ahead and put these two right here, because we might as well... No. There, good lad. And then the other storage... Okay, cool. And I guess we'll put this here. Alright, lovely. Oh yeah, Starbound is very like that TM. But it is interesting from that perspective. Okay, so I put ornate wood, or not ornate, whatever the hell these are. Oakley dokley. Let's go ahead and grab that. Put that down. Grab that. That is not what I wanted. There we go. Good lad. And again, I'll fix this up in a second. The fossil wing will be my next plan. But for right now, it's fine. Okay. So then. And again, we're definitely going to have to move this around and stuff. But for right now, it's fine. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. And also, other big thing that I recommend, especially if you plan on playing as multiple different character files, I highly recommend taking... Here, I'll show you how to do it. So, I'm going to go up to my ship to show you how this is done. But one of the things you can do is find the actual coordinate numbers for every planet. So, if you go into your chair here, what planet am I around? So, what you would go is right down here to this little, like, plus sign teardrop upside down. It says coordinates. Mark that down for if you make a planetary base. You could either... Oh, yeah, you could absolutely... Yeah, I always, will make, like, a cute little... Like, I call it, like, a dormitory, but, like, I'll either make a dormitory or just, like, a cute little place for my ship to, you know, be. Also, the way your ship expands is either you get crewmates or you can buy fake licenses. It's 2 crewmates for every ship upgrade. But I'll make just, like, little things so that the crewmates can kind of entertain themselves, because I never take them down to planets with me. You hit E on them to do that. They will pull out a weapon if that's, you know, what they're gonna do. Also, always bookmark anything. So I'll show you how you would go in and do that. So bookmark like the moon base and stuff. So you would hit E on it, and then if I needed to, it would have like a register this teleporter thing. I've already registered this one, so it's not relevant. But yeah, I always recommend people making bases. Whether or not you use them for crewmates doesn't matter. And if I had to recommend ones to make for crewmates, or not crewmates, tenants specifically, I do recommend doing it on a barren planet like this, because barren planets don't ever have any monsters spawn on them. Otherwise, you're gonna want your tenant colony to be able to defend itself, so you would have to have ones that could have weapons or buy like turrets and stuff. I'm very lazy and I don't like doing that, so I don't bother, and that's why my stuff is always on barren planets. Anyway, the more you know. 2, and then... Do. Okay, we need to push it up by 2 more. Yeah, no worries. Those are just my, like, big recommendations. Okay, lovely. I can do it like this. There we go. Much better. Alright. Beautiful. Yeah. And I always recommend people trying out vanilla to start with games like this. Because, well, frankly, that's the most normalized experience to have. But obviously I pretty heavily play modded. But it's fine. It is fine. And I think I have my mod list somewhere. If I don't, I'll have to put it together because, my god, my mod list is quite big. Alright, lovely. And I do mine through the Steam Workshop. I'm not even sure where... I'm sure there's, like, Nexus mod or something. But I've never even looked into the other areas where you could potentially find Starbound mods. Alright, lovely. Beautiful. Very, very, very good. Da-da. And like I said, I've been playing this since before its official versions were released. So it's definitely one of those things that, like, I've just been playing this for so long that, like, my brain doesn't even, like, remember how much of a pain in the ass some things can be. Dude. Do, do, do. Because, like I said, I'm very used to them. Is that the right thing? It's not. Good thing I checked. No, wrong, 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 wrong. There you go, good lad. Alrighty. Very, very good. Very, very good. Okay, and then 1, 2. Beep, bop, beep, 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 beep. Nope, 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 nope. Brain cell, come on. Good lad. Alrighty. And then we take these guys and beep bop, as well as around things. Very, very lovely. Alright, beautiful. Okay, I'm almost certain we have enough to finish this up. Let me also go ahead and put this like so. But yeah, I'm gonna have to decide. You know what I think I want? Son of a bitch. You know what I think I want for my back wall detail in the fossil wing, which is really unfortunate. The Saturnian slope stones that I keep leaving. God damn it. Brain. I knew it would bite me in the ass every time I just say, I won't need these because I don't, you know, whatever, is the time where I decide I really want them. Because the same thing happened with the last ship where I decided I really wanted to have, Saturnian stones. It's, whoopsies, that's not what I wanted. Making up the entire thing. I don't remember if I can. I could try, because I've definitely scanned them, but, like, also, like, scanning blocks is a little different. The 3D printer is not infallible. Pixel printer, whatever, however you want to phrase it. I could also just try to make them, but I have to remind myself how. So let me go ahead and put up the torches here first. You go here. You go there. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Wait a second. That looks silly. Let's fix that. Alright. Lovely, lovely. Beep bop. There we go. Much better. Okay, let me put down the portal to Site 116 before I, do anything. Also, for those who wonder how, the Site 116 thing works, basically, you get... The moment you find your first, chest, or, like, container, that's when the SCP mod starts, okay? Alright, anyway, let me really quick see if I can go even make those. Alright, let's see. What do I got? So, yes, I can make them. I just need to see what I need to make them. Where are they? Not inset panels. Ornate walls are kind of okay, but I would need paper for them. But I want something very smooth and, like, flat. Okay, slope stone. Fire clay, I can make that. I should be able to make that pretty easily. Okay, okay. Do I have any excess clay hanging around in any of these? Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, definitely. Because I keep meaning to start a Saturnian file. I'm just dumb and keep forgetting. No extra clay in there. Probably not going to be in here because, well, maybe actually. Okay, we got some stone. I don't see any excess clay. That's fine. Mm-hmm. So. Do I not actually... Okay, I could go get some. I just thought I had some. Alright, whatever. Whoops, wrong one. I am gonna put away some of my stone. Alright, lovely, beautiful. Specifically the stuff that I was using to build bases. Alright, lovely. Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm the same way, like, as long as somebody informs me, there's a whole reason why these are over here, you know? As long as somebody informs me, not that this server is one that I play with others, but that they're gonna take shit, I don't care. So this is for, wait, hang on, what about you? I'm gonna put, how about this? We'll have building materials be in this guy. Specifically ones that are spoken for already. So, like, things that are specialty blocks or whatever. Not specialty, I don't know what word I'm looking for. But I'm not going to put all building blocks in here. However, things like that I will. Just so they're, like, out of the way. Okay, so we're going to put a bunch of the ornate wood in here. We also decided against the unrefined wood. Okay, for right now, that should be fine. We should have a decent amount of space. Okay, let's go up to the ship and see if we have any clay hanging around. Alrighty, it would be in blocks. That is not blocks. There we are. Okay, let's see. Because I was going to say, I know I took some from in here. Clay. Okay, good. I'm probably going to have to go mining. Which I already anticipated I would have to anyway. I'm not going to grab these because those are just the bronze panels. Alright, and then I believe this is my other blocks chest, yes. Not that this would have any because this is already kind of spoken for in a way of, in a manner of speaking. I am going to put one more stone in here just so it's out of my way. Okay, alright. Now then. It's a lamplight. Alrighty. Very good. Nope, Logan. Brain cell. Use it. Nope, it's up here. Beep, up. There we are. Alrighty. Fired clay. I'm just gonna make all of it. Because if I recall, you can get a fair number of those. Yeah, oh, every singular clay you use is 200. Pay attention to that. So, 5. Let's make 5. That should give us 1,000. Excuse you, computer. Don't sass me. Hello? There we go. I don't know why it was acting weird. So yeah, always pay attention to those numbers. They can sometimes surprise you. Oh, hang on. There we go. Uh-huh. Yep. Because I was going to say, that's the thing I remember, is that you get a fuck ton of blocks out of it. Yep. So, also, as far as any back blocks here, I don't know if I want to use anything else for texture specifically. I may do, like, a little, like, molding of these going along the back here. Yeah, no worries. For right now, well, because, right, like, I'm using this for, hang on, let me go pull out my, my rock bricks real fast. Not rock bricks. This one. Heavy stone bricks. So that I can make this slightly more sensible. Ah, no. Stop it. Okay, let's go like so. There we are. Lovely. I think that looks a little better. I don't know. I like it. That's all that matters. Also, my spouse clocked it very quickly. So, obviously, Gravity Fall fans, Gravity Fall, singular, Falls, plural, uh, know that the Book of Bill just came out, right? And I'm not going to spoil anything for those who don't want spoilers. However, my spouse was looking at some of the art and goes, hang on, and pauses, and goes, is that Slimy Swamp Ghost? For those who are unaware, if you have ever heard of Siren Head, that is made by a man, or I'm pretty sure he's a guy, I think his name's Trevor, named Slimy Swamp Ghost. He also has, I think he's done a couple of SCPs, like actual SCPs, because Siren Head is not an SCP. But I don't remember its number, but they call it Charlie. But guy's name is Trevor Henderson, has extremely, extremely distinctive style, right? And my spouse was looking at the Book of Bill stuff and goes, is that Slimy Swamp Ghost? Clocked it immediately, because yes, indeed it was. Specifically, the confirmation came in the form of a tweet where Trevor said something to the effect of, I heard someone cool worked on this, ... And, oh yeah, absolutely. And by the way, I highly recommend supporting him, because a lot of his stuff has gotten either... I don't want to fully... No, I am. It's gotten stolen by people who are completely, like, not using their fucking brain cells and are like, well, why does it matter? And I'm like, dude, this guy needs to eat. So, like, if you see the, like, Siren Head stuff at Spirit Halloween, Trevor had no feedback on that. They just fucking, like, I also shouldn't use, like, this is also why, for people who are fans of Digital Circus, why I am currently extremely leery of the Spirit Halloween Pomni stuff, because I don't know, man. I get the bad vibe, you know. Hang on, wait a second. What am I? Oh right, I'm trying to. Yeah, I can actually tell you how they can do it. So, essentially, Spirit Halloween falls under this really weird gray area of the law where, how best to explain it? Actually, why am I doing this? Why don't I just do the entire wall and then I go in and pull stuff out? But basically, it's twofold. Half of it is the amount of time that these Halloween stores stay in business, and the other half is that if they stray just far enough aside from the design, they could get away with it, but they can still make it extremely obvious who it's based on, which is why you get, like, I'm just gonna bring up one that I remember vividly being a Sonic parody. That's why you'll get, like, oh, things called, like, Speed Mouse, or in the case of a creeper from Minecraft, like Green Explosion Man, or, like, Kaboom Cactus. They'll call it something different, even though it's very obvious what it is. But the reason that they don't get sued more than they already do, because they get sued plenty, is because it is just different enough that they could technically have plausible deniability if they wanted it. But also, the other big thing that they have is they're not around for very long, right? So, like, you know, Spirit's only open for XYZ, and Halloween stores in general, because most Halloween stores are very, 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 very guilty of this. But because of that, they don't have to play into the same legality laws that a normal parody ? I don't know what word I'm specifically looking for there. would have to play into, right? Um, so it's time availability, and most of the time they're banking that the people that they're taking from don't have the money to sue them because most of these creators don't. That's the really depressing part about all this is these creators just cannot afford litigation. Um and they know that people don't really give a shit. I guess I already kind of had some areas marked out, but I don't like how they're marked out, so I'm still gonna like edit where I place the windows, I think. Okay. Anyway. But yeah, it falls very heavily into the realm of it is technically not very legal, but they know exactly how to game the system. Okay, so let's go make another 5. Actually, let's also go pick up the schmutz from this. Alright, lovely. Very, very good. Okay, alright, alright. But yeah, it's if you ever want to get really depressed about things, look up like enforcement of like copyright laws and prepare to just be like, oh god. You want another really depressing thing? Look up the average, actually I'm going to look it up for you, of how much Superman's rights were sold for. Uh Alright, because it's really depressing. No, not the fucking comic. Not the original comic, asshole. Uh. Uh. So. Let me see. Basically, they functionally gave him away. It was the equivalent of, like, today, what would be $5 to the president. Because the president was like, oh, we'll totally, do whatever. And then it got so bad that, they were really struggling with it. So they basically threw just under $100,000 at them and were basically like, "Go away." Hit the guys who made it. Their families that are still alive have been struggling to get them to pay more than just like what is functionally crumbs for like the most iconic hero of all time, right? Like I don't even like Superman that much, and this is all. Yeah, there are two genres where if you really want to be depressed after learning about them, that you can learning about the music industry in general, so like rock and roll and stuff like that, and learning about the comics, any creative industry like that, Oopsies, oopsies, oopsies. um, is super depressing to learn about as a whole. And these are absolutely no different. It is super gut wrenching. Oh, am I gonna have space for all this? I hope I do. Okay, lovely. But yeah, and the other thing is like these companies will try to argue this uh until the cows come home because they don't want to pay these families properly, right? They want to get away with making as much profit as they can and not having to pay a fucking dime to their creators if they could. Like they would absolutely just steal if they knew they wouldn't get in trouble for it. They would just swipe shit. And it's like I said, it's super fucking depressing. It is devastating to learn about this kind of thing. Um, And the reason I know a fair bit about it is because, like I said, I went to school for comics. And like, uh, it's really like, for example, here's a perfect example that is still happening in modern day. If you in America have ever seen those window stickers of Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes, like pissing on various things, here's a fun fact about Calvin and Hobbes. There's almost, other than the books, borderline zero official merchandise of Calvin and Hobbes, and most of it is T-shirts and either given out to Watterson's friends and family or like at cons. Like almost none of it was like sold. I don't want to say in an official capacity because that's not the word I'm looking for. But Calvin and Hobbes has next to no official merch. And essentially, because of that, and the fact that Bill Watterson's fairly reclusive, people have just pretty much every Calvin and Hobbes sticker you have ever seen. I'm actually going to go out and directly say it. Every single one that you've ever seen has been completely hang on. 20, so I need 40 more if I want 1,000. I'm actually just gonna do another 20 to bring it up to that. Okay, but all of those stickers all completely unlicensed. And it's the same way that like malls in general can get away with more stuff, you know. Welcome back, welcome back. We're talking about the very depressing reality that is copyright litigation when it comes to things like Halloween stores and stuff, because I was talking about Slimy Swamp Ghost, who was the creator of Siren Head and whatever, and how his stuff has just been taken and people don't even realize that it was... Ooh, nice. People don't even realize that he is pretty much not seen a single cent for pretty much any of it. Because at this point, it's gotten so out of hand that I'm not even sure how he would start litigation about all the people who have stolen, like, Siren Head specifically, because Siren Head is the one that everyone's enamored with. But I was also explaining the depressing reality that is comic books in the same vein, having a lot of their shit stolen, like how the fact that Superman's creators basically didn't see a single dime for Superman until their families were like, hey, this is not okay. His relatives there, it was two guys, Spiegel, I think, is one of their names, and I don't remember the other one. Schuster, maybe? My fucking professor is frowning so hard. They're like, God damn it, Logan. But that is one of the good things about the modern day and the information age, is people can find this information a lot easier, so it's going to be a lot harder for these companies to get away with, like, doing this just outright theft kind of shit. However, always double check, especially when it comes to things like Spirit Halloween, if you care about stuff like that. Very nice. But always double check if you want to make sure the creators are actually seeing money for their work, because a lot of times they aren't, and it's extremely sad. Okay. I technically don't need any more room for this, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this up so it's flush with the level here. That makes the most sense to me. Alright, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Very, very good. Very, very good. Okay. So what I'm also going to do here is I'm going to start moving some of these slightly. It should be fine. I'm also going to go dump off some of the extra materials that I've got, because I know I got a fair chunk of them from this. Maybe I don't have as many as I thought. Or as much. I'm still going to toss it in here. but I really don't have that much to get rid of. Okay, anyway, it's fine. And again, I will go collect rent for my settlers in a second, but I'm pretty sure... Yes, okay. And I will go light that area up and decide on the windows. I just need to make a decision. I might do really tall, like, picture windows in that particular one, just because I think they'd be interesting. Hang on. I'm starting to get annoyed with this. I might go through and touch this up later. For right now, I'm not going to mess with it because I don't want to get too distracted. But... Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. Because I will forget about that. Alright, lovely. Very, very good. But yeah, a lot of people will tell you there are two things that are super depressing whenever you start to study them. One of them, without fail, will always be rock and roll history. Because rock and roll history is fucking depressing. But the other one is, again, any creative industry in general is extremely depressing to learn about the actualities of it. But man, comic books are a lot more depressing than you'd think they'd be. Ironically, a lot of it does very heavily mirror... I'm gonna have them face that way. Do I want them to be all the way up against the edge? Probably. That way I don't have to fret too much over it. I could also alternate them. So that they, you know... I don't know. I mean, it makes sense in my head. Oh yeah, I will. I've been trying to decide on specifically what material, but for right now, I just want everything to be in place before I make decisions about the lights and stuff. Specifically the window placements is what's going to be a pain in my ass. You know what I could do for that lower section? I could go through the background and make X's to find the center lines of stuff. That might be a plan. Actually, you know what I can do so that I have more space to work with, so that I could just pull this all the way out and not fret? Let me put all the fossils that I have on me in here for right now. So they're out of my way. That makes sense to me. And then I can also grab some of this. Where are my fossils at? Brain cell, come on. There you go. Let's just put this here so that it doesn't go weird, and then we'll go like so. And we'll go like so. And that way we can grab the other fossils and put them away too, so we can just do the whole thing at the same time. Makes sense to me anyway. Alright, lovely. Up we go, because these ones are fairly easy, because the small fossils are always going to remain the way they are. Okay, cool. Alright, go put these away real fast. Lovely, beautiful. And tomorrow, I might do more art fight. Like, not art suggestions like the last time, but I might go ahead and do art fight because I've got some stuff that I really want to get done. And, I don't know. Yeah, pretty much. That's almost 1,000,000% why I do it. They're very easy, they're cheap. Yeah, that's 100% why I do it. Yep. Especially because this is the first... And I know this is something... So, okay. For those who don't understand Art Fight is basically a month-long event where a bunch of artists are put on 2 separate teams. And the whole thing is it's supposed to be like... It's kind of an art trade event, but it's not like a mandatory art trade event. So what you do... And by the way, this is my advice for first-time art fighters. Start by just presuming nobody is going to immediately go after you or revenge you. Just find a bunch of characters you like and just start drawing, and that's how you kind of get your name out there with Art Fight, alright? I always tell people, do not assume you will get anything in return. Just do it for the fun of it. And this is how you can make a lot of friends, right? So basically, you have attacking and defending, right? Or, well, attacks and revenge is the easiest way to phrase it. Because defenses are things done unto you. You actively attack, right? So, um, basically, uh, you have the flip side of it, which is revenge. So, say somebody drew your character, you could revenge them, quote unquote, which is you just draw their character back and then tag it as a revenge, right? No, you're fine. And again, this is something that I always tell people. Go into art fight presuming you will never get anything in return. That will make your life a lot happier. Um, and just find characters you think are interesting to draw and do them. So, for example, every year I try to draw at least 3 to 4 Skeksis from Dark Crystal because I think they're really fun to draw. And this is the first year that I'm pretty sure I know why this happened. So it's my third art fight. I'm pretty sure this is because I kept dropping my name in those comments sections where people are like, "Send me your art fight username. I'm doing this. I'm planning this," and people will go and troll those particular uh comment sections to find people to go after, even if they're not the person who made the video. I'm pretty sure that's why this happened. But this is the first year I've had to admit defeat where if I want to draw the people that I've wanted to draw at the start, I will, oh, brain cell. Um, I have to basically pick between them and the 3 revenges that I have stacked up. And this is the other thing. Never, ever draw art fight stuff outside of art fight unless it's like your own icon or whatever. But you can bookmark people's characters the entire year that falls in between. So I always tell people, like, if you want to remember to get back to someone or whatever, you can always just bookmark them and save them for later. Um, it is July every year, yes. But, basically, this is the first year that I have not been able to revenge everyone who either was going to get revenge anyway, or who was already on my list, right? And what I'll do is sometimes I will basically the next year start out with the people who either, because sometimes you'll get people who do like last minute attacks. Like the first attack that I did this year, well, not the first one. I actually start it with the same guy every year just because he's happened to be on the opposite team every year. But, Brain Cell, you gotta kick in sometime. Oh, come on, Braid. That way I remember that I wanted to revenge them, right? Oh, also, by the way, you just triggered another keyword for, or keyword. Uh, like, talking point for me. Art fight is not about who's good enough. Art fight is just for fun. Like, literally, there are very young beginner artists, and the only people who will bully artists for their skill and be like, you're not good enough for art fight, are assholes and should be disregarded out of hand. And in fact, you should make fun of them. Okay, let me not encourage bullying, but, like, if somebody's being a dick to a beginner artist, absolutely be like, hey, what the fuck is your problem, dude? Art fight is not about, like, skill. Art fight is about having fun. That too. It's also very much practice. Because the other thing is, like, there's a bunch of different artists. Like, there's artists who make dice. There's artists who do prop design. There's artists who do pixel design. Like, all art is valid in art fight. Oh, and that's very fair. But yeah, matter of fact, like, if you look at some of my beginning art fight pieces from a couple years ago, like, you can see that I use art fight as a learning process. I actually don't know. I think there's a couple of collage artists on Art Fight, but I'm not sure. That's actually something I would be very curious to learn about. Or like I don't mean collage like specifically you're talking about collage, but like when I think of people who specifically do a lot of Photoshop stuff like that, I do think of like things like that nature. I'm not sure. I'd actually be very curious to hear what their standing on that is. No, I think they mean like photo manipulation specifically. Um, but I actually do not have the answer to that. The one good thing about Art Fight is they are fairly straightforward when it comes to like people asking questions. So if you have a question for the staff, I'm sure they will answer it. Um, but yeah, I'm actually not sure about that. Um, but yeah, and the other thing is for anyone who does participate in Art Fight, do remember that they go through at the end of every year and like if they one okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think that's right. We just need to put the top layer up here. And I'm gonna have it be the same as the other layers just for sake of clarity. And actually, I can just do like so. Alright, lovely. But, the other thing is, remember, you can upload characters throughout the year. Like, characters are fine. And, in fact, you can upload them even during the event. But, and the other thing to warn anyone who is getting invested in Art Fight for the first time, it's already happened this year, but just so you know, if you're participating in next year, the site always crashes at the start of Art Fight. So either get stuff in before or just wait for like a day or so. Matter of fact, they handled the yearly crash really well this year because it's a new management team. Because if you want to hear some drama, so last year's Art Fight very nearly was the last Art Fight. Because it turned out the original management was just stealing the money and not using it for the site itself, and just putting it into her pocket. So there was that. So yeah, if you ever wondered why people were like really worried during the start of this year's Art Fight, that would be why. Because we very much thought it might be the last Art Fight. It was a very, very sad situation because I did understand the viewpoint of the original creator. Um, but at the same time, if your site is just not upgrading, people are going to start asking questions, and you need to be able to answer it. And this year has run so much better. So much better. Um, but, but yeah, it's very much one of those things. Another thing that I recommend for people is you don't even have to have fully completed references for one. Oh, goddammit, am I going to make it? Yes, I am. So for example, okay, we need to decide where our windows are going, because this is starting to drive me crazy. I want to decide based on this lower level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and start drawing out an X in the back wall. That is not right. Actually, wait a second. I can do this a lot easier. Hang on. I can just do it with the paint tool. Okay, anyway. But, and you can also have multiple characters. That's the other thing to keep in mind. Like, I have, like, 20 some odd characters up, and you can update them, take them off, or you could even just, if you have a toy house, you could just link a toy house account if you don't want, like, say you have a situation where, like, you have a character where they don't really hold up to what you would consider a good standard for references, which again, as long as they are a set, like the first one that I draw every year, only has a grayscale drawing of them. You can always just put it up and see what people do with it. But you can also link it to, like, a lot of my characters that I either don't feel confident in having linked, or um wait a second, no, actually, because I was doing it from the inside corner, so I should do it from the inside corner beyond where these blocks are. So from here would be the best location for that. But you could always just link your Toy House account if you have one again. Um, and also don't, in fact, not only don't feel like you are going to be forced to do anything, because whenever you feel like you're forced to do something, that will always produce not lackluster work, but like it will always be really telling. Like, people can tell when you feel like you are forced into a situation, almost always. Hang on, let me clear out the paint. But also, I just go in expecting nothing. But yeah, you don't need perfect references. In fact, like, I don't even really advise that you get very, I don't want to say attached, that's not the word I'm looking for. But like, put characters that, like, again, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Okay, so that's 1, 2 from the top. I can do that. But it's just about having fun, right? Yeah, it's not necessarily leave room for artistic freedom in whatever, but do understand that if you don't have a hyper detailed ref, that you do need to be understanding that people are going to, like, misinterpret things, right? Um, and again, remember, art fight is about having fun. It is not necessarily, yes, it's about attacking and whatever and revenge and blah blah, but like, it is not actually, since these ones are lower, you know what I could do that would be cool? I could do like this, where there's not smaller windows off to the side in terms of height, but these smaller ones. Although that does look pretty fucking cool. Yeah, okay. We're gonna do that. And then I'm gonna need to go in and count how far apart they are. But that shouldn't be that difficult. I know I'm bad at math, but I'm not that bad. Alright, lovely. And I could even go in and put lattice over this. Yeah, that looks pretty fucking sick. It's probably not going to be centered properly, which is a problem, but I don't care. Okay, so let's just use this to count out, like we were doing before. Okay, so... Wait, no. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then... Okay, and then I can count it from the bottom. That should do. And then I'll go in and either erase that, or... I'm not going to keep this because it makes it look like a diner, not a museum. Ooh, you know what I could do? This central one, that's where I could place the ornate pillars, potentially. Right here. I could do that. That makes sense to me, and I think it would look nice. But yeah, like, art fight is about fun. Because, like, here's the other advice I give people. Don't give up, obviously. but I recommend going into every art fight presuming your team's gonna lose. Just straight up, presume your team's going to lose. It's more fun that way. One, it'll give you more motivation. Two, it'll make it so it doesn't feel as painful if your team does lose. Because again, presuming that my team, Seafoam, this year is going to lose, I'm going to have lost every single year that I've been on Art Fight. I don't care. So here also, team decision is very different for everyone. There are honestly people who just let the game pick for them because you can do that. Fun fact. Um, but hang on. This is yes. But my decision making process is as follows. What team is my spouse on? I'm picking the opposite team for my spouse. And that's purely so that, because you could also, here's the other thing about Art Fight that a lot of people don't immediately realize. Friendly fire is a thing. You will not get as many points for it, but again, points should not be your only decision making process. But I will say, I do understand people who are like, I don't want to, because if you've ever done friendly fire, you realize just how bad a point deduction friendly fire gets you, which is the one thing that I really do wish the new team would have done before this year, is addressing just how bad the point differential is for friendly fire, because you could go from a piece being worth 45 points to the exact same quality piece being worth 6, and I feel like that really makes it so people don't want to do friendly fire, which sucks because, like, there is something very sweet and endearing about it, you know? Because you know that that person is taking, sacrificing some of their time in order to, you know, go after someone, you know, that's on their team. But, I do understand why they do it. But again, it's just one of those things that it's a little, like, kind of depressing sometimes when you put a lot of effort into a piece and it just kind of goes nowhere. Oh, shit. Okay. Wait. Well, I mean, technically it's right. No, it's right. That's where I've been placing it. Okay, and then... like so... And again, I'll go through and pull out all the, like, color bands so that I could, you know, have it look nicer. But yeah, the most important thing to remember is have fun and don't burn yourself out. But also, obviously, my first 2 years, this was not necessarily the case. You will not be able to get to everyone, revenge-wise. Eventually, there will come a time in your art fight career where you will start to get well-known enough that people will seek you out, right? And at some point, you are going to have to admit to yourself that, and unfortunately, this is my year that I'm having to do that, that you cannot attack everyone back, okay? And also, from the flip side, go under the presumption that you will never get... again, revenge is the term for, like, when people are, like, attacking you for an attack you did on them. Always go into it presuming you will not get anything. And just have fun, you know? Go after characters that speak to you, you know? Alrighty, that's... right, it's 1 down. Hang on, actually. Wait a minute. Okay, cool. And then here... I think I'm on the right layer for that? Yes. Alright, beautiful. But yeah, just have fun, you know? And also, remember that the tag system is a little broken. That's one of the things that they have not been able to fix yet. And so, yes, use tags. I always advise that. But when you're searching in the tag search, just continue to hit the search button. So, like, say you search, I don't know, dog, and then you'll get a bunch of whatever, but there won't be a next button. Just continue to search the term dog, and it will re-roll them. I know it's really, like, backwards and kind of silly, but we have to work with what we got, right? Alright. Ow, god damn it. Okay, it's fine. I'm not... I know I can make that, I'm just not gonna bother. And again, this is the problem with the large fossils, is they're kind of frustrating sometimes. Alright, lovely. And also the other thing is, if after art fight you know, you could always, like, hit someone up and say, hey, I didn't have time to finish it for art fight, but here's a piece that I'm gonna whatever. Because actually, I'll give a perfect example that happened this year. So, someone that I was going to revenge last year, which again, don't work on art things specifically for art fight outside of art fight. That is against the rules, and it will get your account terminated. So don't do it. But which is why I tell people remember your pacing, you know. And again, I'm not even in sketches, and even if you do, one, don't brag about it. Two, again, it's just not a good idea because they can tell, they can pull metadata and stuff if you have like a particularly suspicious. Two. Okay, hang on. 1, 2, 3. Like timing, like if you get yours done lickety split, they will sometimes go in and look at the metadata for that post or the art piece itself, because you can do that and see when it was made. So I highly, there are ways around it. Don't do them though. That's against the spirit of art fight. But you can always save characters. You can always, you know. Okay, now that I've no. God damn it, braid. I was gonna go in here so that I could pull the patterning that I was doing off. Hang on, this looks a little naked. Let me do like so. But, you can always go to that artist if they have other socials and say, hey, I was gonna either do this year or that. I'm either going to give you the piece, or you don't have to tell them that you're going to revenge them next year. But for example, I had somebody who got a last minute piece off on me last year. I shit you not, literally 2 minutes before art fight ended that year. 2 minutes. I've looked at the data. It was crazy. And so what I did was I bookmarked one of their characters so that I could do them this year, right? Well, they just so happened to have, right before I was about to put the piece, they took that character off of art fights. So what I basically did, you could always say, hey, I was doing this, and then you took the character down. You could politely, there's your keyword, politely ask them to put the character back up, right? Or you could just say, here's this, I'm either going to work on the other piece for this year, or just say, you know, it's fine. I didn't necessarily need to whatever. And then, whatever. So what I did was the second, technically, person I went after this year took their character down. So what I just did, I just sent them the file for the previous one and then went after another character of theirs. Because I was planning on attacking them anyway. And it's not their fault, they didn't know, because generally speaking, you don't want to tell people. It's not a rule not to tell them, right? But generally speaking, you know, it kind of ruins the surprise for them a little. So what I'm going to do is maybe every second one in, that'll be where I place the light. That makes sense to me. I don't know. It's fine. Okay, cool. But yeah. And remember, it's all about fun. Like, yes, there's people who get competitive, but at the end of the day, the most important thing to remember is to have fun during art fight. Okay, so 1, 2. I got 1, 2. Beep. Alrighty. I think that's right. Pretty sure. Okay. But yeah. And you could always approach an artist afterwards and say, I was either going to do this or whatever, and either ask them if they want to do an art trade or just say, here, you know, ta-da, surprise. And the other thing I will tell people, cherish everything you get. And I really wish I didn't have to say that, but this became kind of a thing this year that I really hated. People don't have to draw you shit. So when somebody draws you something, even if you don't think it's that quote unquote good of quality, cherish every motherfucking thing. Don't be ungrateful. You know? Because they don't have to do shit for you. Not at all. And it's out of the goodness of their hearts. Same thing as people don't have to revenge you. Like, is it polite? Yes. But they don't have to, and it's not bad if they don't. It's just not every artist can sacrifice, like, the top. Matter of fact, one of the things that I always tell my spouse doesn't work nearly as fast as I do. And so what I always tell them is I always say never ever revenge me to them, because I want them to work on the things that they find interesting, because I'm going to go after them every year and they know that. So like I just am straight up like, I don't care. You do the things that you find interesting. And again, don't go in expecting for people to, go after you. Because then you'll just be sitting there watching the thing and be like, why aren't people... It's just because, especially if it's your first year on Art Fight, people haven't found you yet. So that's also where I'm like, just like, go crazy your first year so that by your second year, people have started to notice that you're there, and they'll be like, oh, this person. Alright, anyway, it's fine. But yeah, I adore Art Fight, and I'm so sad that it's already almost over. Also, don't, like, work yourself to death. Like, remember to take breaks. Please, for the love of the fucking gods, please take breaks. Because, matter of fact, that's why I realized that if I was going to get to the characters I really wanted to draw, I was going to have to make some sacrifices this year in terms of, like, not being able to revenge everyone. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Because I'm not as young as I used to be, man. I can't go crazy. Alright, lovely. And sometimes I will intentionally, like, go after characters that are, like, relatively easy to draw. Especially my first year, that's definitely what I wish I had done. I wish I had kind of gone after more easy-to-draw characters than all of them being as complex as they were. Because, and again, I shouldn't say, it depends on what you find easy to draw. So, like, for me, easy to draw also includes, like, things that have, like, stuff that I can add a lot of, like, my traditional, like, I call it hair shading, but, like, the little, like, extra lines that I do. Like, if you look at Mordecai over there, all the little, like, soft lines in his hair is just, it's texturing, really, but because I despise shading, like, I'll do highlights. Highlights I like, but, my god. I love traditional shading. My favorite tool was, hang on, let's do it from here. 1, 2, 3. But, I enjoy doing that, so, like, if it's, like, a completely smooth character, that could be a little bit of a pain for me, because that's part of how I visually express myself. But it's fine. But yeah, again, if you're not having fun, then it'll show. So, like, always make sure to prioritize enjoying yourself for Art Fight. Alright, lovely. It's fine. And again, anyone who has been on the site for a while and anyone who's like a decent person, they will completely understand anything that you have to do, you know? So like if it's a situation where like I can't revenge everyone, I can't do XYZ, I can't this, I can't do more than like a simple like half body or bust, you know, people who are decent people will completely understand. Anyway, Art Fight's really fucking cool. I highly recommend it. And again, uh, come on, Brain Cell. Um, you cannot work on stuff outside of the thing, other than if you're like uploading characters and reference sheets of your own. That's fine. Do not work on attacks. You will get in trouble, and they absolutely will be able to tell. Like, it is remarkably difficult to get away with it. Especially the more that Art Fight goes along, the cleverer or the more clever the Art Fight moderators become. You feel me? Uh, like they will very quickly get wise to like whatever the latest scam is if people have been doing stuff like that. Oh, also the other thing, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I always tell people Art Fight's a great place to learn that. Because like you're drawing a lot, you're drawing very ideally, you're drawing a lot of variants. It's a very good place to learn how to draw stuff that you either don't know how to draw or want to learn to get better at. You feel me? Um because the fact of the matter is it doesn't leave you time to be too perfectionistic about stuff like you always can, but like it definitely motivates you to just be like, look, I I know that this is my limits. I know I won't be able to whatever, so I need to just call this piece done and be done with it, because that's a very good skill for any artist to be able to have. Is I believe the term is kill your darlings. But don't like get so pent up in having it be perfect and instead just have it be, you know. So I'm gonna there's a very old, relatively speaking, uh it's not an old comic, but the concept is old. It's called the two cakes theory. So say you're at a cake competition and you bring your cake over and you're pretty proud of it and stuff, but then you see the person's next to you's cake and it looks incredible and you're like, oh man, that man's cake's so good, everyone's gonna be like completely disinterested in my cake. And then the judges or the crowd comes in and just goes, holy shit, two cakes. That is something that I would implore every artist to keep in mind on their journey, is you don't know what people are looking for when it comes to like things they enjoy. And also you don't know if your view of your cake and you viewing someone else's as better than yours is how other people are going to view it. You feel me? So something that one of my professors at college said that has stuck with me to this day is he would basically talk about, you know, this was specifically my storyboarding professor. He would say, don't make your stuff look like something it's not unless you want to change it and change your style for the better. I'm hiring you. I'm not hiring, you know, Miyazaki. I am hiring you. Make your work look like yours. And make it have your hallmarks. You feel me? And again, this goes back to the two cakes theory, where you may think that that other person's cake looks so much better than yours, but that doesn't mean the general populace will think that. Someone may be looking for your type of cake specifically, and that is a very important thing to keep in mind. You feel? And it all comes down to taste and the fact that art is subjective. You know. All right, very, very good. Because like there is no shame in, and if anyone tries to shame people who are like, look, you know, it's art, but I do it for, you know, payment. Like there is, if I catch you fucking shaming an artist for wanting to make a living and being upset that they are struggling to make a living, I'm gonna fucking put pickles in your shoes or some stupid shit, I don't know. But like, every artist, one, deserves a living. But it's the same thing as like, don't fucking tell artists that their prices are outrageous. Art's a luxury, for one. Exactly, exactly. Like, never be like, isn't art about passion? Bitch, my passion is me being alive. um, like, artists cannot become artists and just, you know, they need to be able to live. There is absolutely no shame in somebody being like, look, I need to be able to eat. In fact, I think it's far more shameful to be like, don't you want to do this for a passion? Shouldn't you be like charging us so that you can continue your passion? Like, bitch, if you can't afford it, then it's not for you. And also, you could save your money. And again, like, this is why I always tell people, like, yes, you want to be able to get a foot in the door and, like, in terms of having... So it is off-center, but I do plan to expand it out towards the back, so, like, I don't really care that much that it's off-center, honestly. But, like, I don't know, man. It's extremely... So I'm gonna leave this side like it is for right now. I know it's technically not fully symmetrical. I don't really care that much. Um, but, but yeah, like, art is a luxury, and I implore people to keep that in mind when they're talking shit to artists about this kind of stuff. Because also, here's another fun fact: if you're enough of a dick to artists, people will absolutely find out, and we artists of all maker types, we know this. It's not even a secret. We have beware groups for people where we will say, hey, this person's a dick. Hey, this person's a weirdo. Hey, you know, be careful. This person is known for running out on payment. Also, always, at least ask for partial payment up front. Never, ever. Don't fucking think. Let me see. That's a really great idea. I fucking love that. Oh, yes. Oh, dude, if you want to know how to get in with artists and to the point that they may, like, prioritize your commission, not above others, but, like, they may be like, oh, it's this person. I'm gonna, you know, always take their request versus, like, XYZ if they're not, like, a first come, first serve kind of commissioned artist. That's a really great way to get in, is tip your artists. I will never forget, it's one of the few times that, or not few times, this was back when I was very, very new. By the way, the amount that this guy paid me for this is not deserving of what it was. I basically did a free album cover for somebody, and he tipped me $80 fucking dollars. That is, what I would nowadays probably charge up front for what, like, I drew. Not what I drew then. What I drew then was terrible. And I always, I never forgot that he did that for me. Like, it was genuinely such an unnecessary sweet gesture. Because that was purely a gift. And, like, there is something to, you know, free art and getting your name out there, but remember that you don't want people to take advantage of your kindnesses, right? So always kind of keep in mind that one day you will need to live. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a simple one. Like, kind of like that here. I think that's a little Pac-Man eye, that's fine. That works. Exactly, exactly. Like, people are going to take advantage of you if you just keep offering free prices. So, like, at some point you are going to have to, for your own health and well-being and ability to live, you're gonna have to, I don't want to say be the bad guy because I hate phrasing it as such, but you're gonna have to eat some days. Be Alright, lovely. Exactly. And also, like, um, there's really no, like, right or wrong as far as pricing, but I do recommend looking at what other artists price their things to kind of get an according, or, like, kind of get a good mindset as to what it probably is worth, right? But at the same time, you can absolutely just charge what you think is just right. But also, most people severely undercharge for their stuff. Like, I undercharge. But yeah, have boundaries. Absolutely have boundaries. Especially have boundaries in what you're willing to fulfill. Like, I basically say I have the right to, uh, not draw whatever I want. Like, I have a right to say no because I don't want to be in a, like, yes, obviously, if you're fairly flexible, it will get you a lot of attention, but it will also get you a lot of attention that you may or may not be comfortable with having. Like, you know, certain ideologies or, like, certain concepts and stuff. Like, while I will do, like, kind of not suggestive in terms of like, but like a little like I'll go like a little more like scandalous, but I won't do full blown NSFW. One, I'm not good at it. Two, I just am not comfortable with it. You feel me? Um, and so like that's just one of those things where life is the way it is. And also, from the perspective of artists, the one thing I will say is also remember that you are not owed anything. So like I'm gonna use a perfect example. This was back with somebody who was doing art requests, and I didn't realize at first that this was a I'm gonna phrase it as a foot thing. You probably know what I mean. But at first I didn't realize that this whole like free art request this guy was doing was that kind of thing. And what I had done, it was an icon, so what I had done was I put it as my icon, but then I realized right as they put that into one of, because they basically put a bunch of the icons that they had done, like, in their whatever, so that they all kind of matched. But the moment I realized what was going on, I'm like, and I immediately was like, no, no, no. And I backed out because I was uncomfortable. And he started bitching because he's like, what the hell, this, that, the other. And I'm like, dude, I didn't realize what was going on. You can't expect me to always keep this as my icon, but also don't react like that. Because again, not only do artists talk, but buyers talk. So, like, again, I'm not going to tell you, like, you can or can't be, like, vocal with being annoyed about stuff, but do remember that people are always watching. And you cannot necessarily decide what reputation you'll get for doing that kind of thing. You feel me? Again, on both sides. Alrighty, let's see. And also, like, boundaries about how much you're willing to discuss the work outside of, like, the standard, like, business exchange. Like, I recommend a lot of artists get a separate, or at least separate in terms of, like, it's still hooked up to your main email, but, like, you could give a different email. Like, I have one specifically for my art stuff. Exactly. You absolutely true. That's very true. But also like you can't necessarily control how people perceive you, but you can decide to not be an asshole. That is where your responsibility lies. You feel me? Uh, all right, lovely. Right now, I'm just gonna do these last little back pieces. and then start working on the windows, because we don't have a ton of time left, so, like, you know. And one of these days I may excavate the museum, probably when the tree farm eventually wraps all the way around. Alright, lovely. Very, very good. Very, very good. Alright. There's that. Okay, alright. Now then. One. I think that's... No, wait, is that the right height? 1, 2... Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, absolutely, like... And also, the other thing is, like... As much as it sucks, once you get a reputation, that it is probably going to follow you forever. But also... Be willing to let people learn. Like, obviously, here is my philosophy in life. No one owes you forgiveness, but no one also owes it to you to remain the same forever. So, like, say someone, like, pisses you off and you block them or whatever, they don't owe it to you to unblock them, but you also don't owe it to them to keep being the same asshole of a person that they blocked. And people need to learn, and maybe this is because of the era of the internet I grew up on, because again, I'm 32, so, like, people were a little more willing to let, especially young kids, this is the part that's really... Exactly. The thing that's very sad to me, is that it feels like people are refusing to allow people the chance to grow. Because again, this, don't twist my words and take it to say that, like, all people who have done bad things are gonna... They totally deserve to not have any, consequences for their actions. No, not at all. That's not what I'm fucking saying. I'm saying that people do deserve to grow out of their old horrible behavior. And again, you don't owe them forgiveness, but you need to be willing to understand that they will eventually, ideally, knock on wood, grow as a person. And in fact, if they, like, are putting in the time to better themselves, that is definitely something that, like, not should be celebrated, but, like, you should be willing to admit when somebody is doing that. Exactly, yeah. People can grow, and in fact, we should be encouraging it. And that's what I feel is so devastating. There was... I think I've talked about this before, but there was something that one of the founding members of Rooster Teeth said that has stuck with me to this day. He said it right when he had his family had just had their first kid, right? So he had just started his family. He said, the children of our generation, so him and my age, will never know what it is like to grow up without a number next to their name. Because everything is about... Like, all of them now have a social presence. They will never know what it is like to not have themselves scrutinized every day of their lives. And it's so devastating because that also, in my opinion, is a double-edged sword. Because this is also what, in my opinion, causes these people who stagnate to be unwilling to grow, is the fact that... they basically are like, well, this is how you're always going to perceive me, so I'm never going to want to grow beyond anything with this. And I think that therein lies the danger with automatically acting like no one can ever grow beyond what they were like before. You feel me? And again, you don't owe anyone forgiveness, but like I said, they don't owe you complacency and remaining the same, so that you could always... I don't want to say be justified, but so that you could always feel like you were constantly always in the right, and that because they don't grow, blah, 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 blah. They don't owe you stagnation. But it is what it is. Alright, let me start putting some of this stuff away. For right now. I'm gonna hold on to the glass, just because I can. Let's put away a bunch of these. And then we'll go, like, skedaddle over there and check out our handiwork a bit. Alright. Again, anything that I'm not gonna place the stuff back yet because I have no point in doing that quite yet. Alright, lovely, beautiful. Let's dry sand so I can put that away. Okay, let's go check out our handiwork while we're here. Okay. And then I'll find someone to send y'all to. Yeah, that looks nice. Again, it's uneven, but, like, I don't care that much. I could also, in the uneven section, actually. I could do like so. Alright, so I'm gonna have it be 5 high. It's 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. Ah, shit, hang on. I need to fix that. No, motherfucker, please. There we go. Yeah, okay. That works. And then I could always move this later. Because I actually, you know what, I'm moving it right now. I don't like how it looks. Alright, lovely. Because I like the idea of this being kind of like a passage area. Okay, there we go. That works. And then we'll put one more thing. I know that I'm technically going a little over, but give me a second to use the brain cell to make this look nice. Ah. I think that's right. Let me see. Yes, that's right. Okay, cool. That works. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, that'll do for right now. Let's go up to the ship and see if I can find anyone to send y'all to. I'm gonna send you over to Cinehesh. She's doing art right now, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. I'm either going to do art, depending, or I'll just do more Starbound. But until then, bye!